Hello friends, it's Scott from Flat River Keto. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On my channel you get to come along for the ride on my keto journey. Today, as promised, I wanted to check in with you guys and talk with you a little bit about preparing to go on a keto trip or vacation and how you can stay keto when you do that. I'm getting ready to go on a trip this weekend. We're leaving on Friday. We're going to be in Utah for 4 days, and then we're driving up to Star Valley Ranch, Wyoming, which is about 60 miles south of Jackson Hole, and we're going to be there for 3 more days. 3 or 4 more days. Anyway, we're going to be gone for just over a week, and I wanted to talk with you guys about what I do to plan for a trip like this so that I can remain keto and so that I can stay on track. This is hopefully something that can be helpful to you. It's going to be very helpful for me because I'm actually going to plan this out and talk with you a little bit about what I'm going to do. But I think it's good to think about because this is summer. A lot of us are going to be traveling, a lot of different vacations, holidays, business trips even possibly. But I wanted to talk about this because I think this is a thing that can trip us up really easily if we let it, but I think it's also an opportunity for us to have a lot of success if we'll let it. The overarching theme for this particular video and the best advice that I can give you is the 5 Ps. And no, I did not make this up, as you will definitely recognize the 5 Ps when you hear it. Prior planning prevents poor performance. If I could tell you anything about getting ready to go on a trip, go on a vacation, it is that you need to plan. And that if you plan, you will be successful. If you fail to plan to fail. You've heard that one too. But prior planning prevents poor performance. So you got to think ahead. And I know there's probably a part of you, and maybe there isn't a part of you. Maybe you're like me and you love writing plans and putting lists together and that sort of thing. But maybe there's a part of you that thinks, I shouldn't have to plan. This is my vacation, darn it. And, well, that's true. You don't have to plan if you don't want to be successful. But you do want to be successful, and if you want to stay on plan and on track on your vacation, then you need to plan. Now, you might even decide that for your vacation, you're not going to stay on plan. That the part of your vacation is a vacation from your health plan. Now, I don't recommend that, but even then, you've taken the time to plan and decide that you're not going to stay on plan. But we're going to go ahead and shove that aside and presume that, like me, you would like to stay on plan during your trip or vacation. So I'm going to go over a couple of things that I think are really important. If I'm looking down, it's because I've actually written them down because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything for you guys. The first thing is to control what you can control. You can control when you get up in the morning. You can control, and what I mean by that is often on vacation we like to sleep in, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, but you can control when you get up in the morning. So if you want to get a walk in, you guys know that I go and do my walks with my dogs in the morning on a regular basis. When I'm on this vacation, which actually this vacation that we're going to be on is going to be a working vacation for me, so it's really important for me to get up early so that I can still get my exercise in before I start my work day. And then I have time to have fun with my family in the evenings and spend time with my in-laws, and then spend time with my family at a family reunion after that, because that's what my week's going to be. But that's one of the things that I can control. I can control what time I get up, so control what you can control. Another thing, if you have a say in the food that's going to be made during the vacation that you're on, speak up, make yourself known. If you've been doing keto for any length of time, a lot of people probably know that you're keto, especially those that are close to you. If you're going on a trip with family, they probably know that you're keto. But if you have a say in the food, make yourself known, make your needs known. Let people know that it's important for you to have a good source of protein that isn't covered in carbs. Let people know basically just the kind of food that you're going to be having. And also, another thing would be that let's say you don't have control over the food. So like I said, control what you can control. If there's things that you can't control, like you're going to have a big meal together as a family and it's already been planned, or find out what that's going to be. I will give you guys an example. For me, the second half of my vacation here, I'm going to be involved in a family reunion. And the meals are already set up. The dinners are already set up. And I know that one night they're doing sandwiches, which, while not ideal for me, I kind of feel bad about taking a sandwich and throwing away the bread. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, and I might even check in with my dad to see if he knows. But, obviously I can eat the insides of a sandwich. I'm just not going to eat the bun. The second night they're doing some kind of a brisket, he thinks, which is going to be great and perfect. The third night they're doing fried chicken. Now, that's not a real good option for me. I can, depending on how it's breaded, pick the breading off of the chicken, but I might have to have an alternative plan for that particular meal because that meal doesn't work real good for me. And I don't have any say in the actual dinner in that case because it's planned for everybody. So I know that I need to have a plan. That's one of the things that I can't control. So you control what you can control, and what you can't control, you plan for. So I don't have any control over what that dinner is going to be. I do have the ability to bring a side of some kind or a dessert. So I'm definitely going to bring something keto that I'm able to enjoy, but I'm also might bring myself something. I might bring a rotisserie chicken along or something along those lines so that I have something to eat. But so control what you can control and plan for what you can't control. The next thing is if you can, bring your routine with you. Now, this of course is going to vary. This particular trip that I'm going on, we're going on a car trip. We are driving to Utah and then we're driving up to Wyoming. Now, that lends itself to being able to bring a lot more of my routine with me than I'm going to be able to do in a couple of weeks when we actually go to California, where we're going to be flying in an airplane. A little more limited in what I can bring with me. But because this particular trip is a car trip for me, I'm able to bring a lot of my routine with me. Now, I'm not bringing my dogs with me. We have somebody who's going to be watching our dogs. As you guys know, I do my rucks every morning with my dogs. So I can't bring that part of my routine with me. I can't bring my dogs. But what I can bring with me is I can bring my weights. I can bring my rucking backpack. I can bring my yoga mat for my DDPY workouts. Discovered the hard way, by the way, that a yoga mat doesn't seem like much. It's like that thick, but it makes a huge difference. And so I'm going to bring that part of my routine with me. I'm also going to bring Keto Chow with me on my trip. I'm going to bring Keto Brick with me on my trip. We might even bring some Swerve. Now you ask, why would you do that? You're going to be going to a place where you could procure those things. Maybe not Keto Chow and Keto Brick, but you could buy some Swerve. As you guys know, Swerve is not cheap. And particularly when we're visiting my father-in-law, he doesn't have a whole lot of ingredients. He doesn't cook very much anymore. He's almost 90. And so he doesn't have a lot there. So if we want to make something, we need to bring a lot of the ingredients with us. Basics, he might have, but a lot of things he doesn't. And so bringing as much of your regular routine with you as you can is going to allow you to be able to stay on track. Like I said, I'm going to bring pretty much everything with me so that I can keep my regular fitness routine. And then I'm also going to bring, like I said, Keto Chow and Keto Brick with me, which are part of my routine, particularly Keto Chow. I don't necessarily have one of those every day, but I have one of those quite often, and I'm going to have that available to me. Now, what I found in the past is when I bring those with me, I'm not necessarily going to have one for every meal, and I'm not necessarily going to have one every day, but having it available to me, which is a part of my regular routine when I'm here at home, is very comforting to me, and it's very helpful, and it allows me to stay on track. For example, when I'm here at home, I don't necessarily have a Keto Chow every day, but if we have a meal where we don't have a lot of leftovers or don't have enough leftovers that I can take for a meal the next day for lunch, I'll have a Keto Chow. And the same thing is going to be true on this trip. It's going to be a lot more likely that I'm going to have them for lunches than for dinners. But that night of the fried chicken, at my family reunion, I might end up having a Keto Chow with me. I'm going to bring it with me, make it ahead of time and bring it to the dinner, so that I'm prepared, so that I'm not only prepared, but like I said, kind of in my regular routine. Bring as much of your routine with you as you can. The next thing, have an emergency food plan. And that actually comes back to having Keto Chow and Keto Brick both for me. That's if there is a surprise. Obviously, I've already mentioned prior planning prevents poor performance. To plan as much as you can ahead of time, but there might be things that are a bit surprising. It might turn out that what my dad thought was going to be brisket is not. Maybe it is drowned in barbecue sauce that I just don't feel like I can have it. Have an emergency food plan. Having a Keto Chow at the ready for me is a way that I can have an emergency food plan. I'll have a meal that I can enjoy that I know is fantastic. The other thing for me is having Keto Brick. Keto Brick is a really good option that is almost like a treat, although it shouldn't be treated that way. It's definitely not a snack, but it is something that I find very delicious and is easily portable. It's easy to be transported. It's even easier than Keto Chow. Keto Chow I kind of have to make up beforehand. Keto Brick, you can just kind of take it in the package and have it with you. So have an emergency food plan though. Know what you're going to do. And in addition to bringing your own food and having that kind of emergency food plan, think to yourself, if I had to go, because we're going to be traveling a couple of days, right? We're going to be driving across Wyoming. We're going to be, driving from Utah up to another part of Wyoming. Know what you can eat at a fast food restaurant. Like, know that what you can have at a Burger King or a Wendy's or a McDonald's or wherever you might stop or have to stop. Think about that beforehand so that you make the good choice at the McDonald's and you don't end up getting yourself a 20-piece chicken nuggets or something like that. Think ahead. Know that, hey, if I go to McDonald's, I'm going to get a triple quarter pounder with cheese, and I'm just going to get the patties and the cheese, and that's it. Or I'm just going to order 3 or 4 quarter pound patties, and that's all. But think about it ahead of time, because if you're in the moment, and if you've been maybe traveling all day or driving all day and you're hungry, that's going to be the time where you might say, forget it, and go off plan. But if you thought about it ahead of time and you have that emergency food plan, you'll be ready to be successful. The last thing, guys, is to be kind to yourself. If you're going on a trip, particularly if you're going on a vacation, this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be an opportunity for you to recharge, to spend time with your family possibly, and to get away a little bit from your regular routine. I know I've spent this whole time talking about how keeping your routine is important, but there might be some things that you're going to do that are going to be outside of your routine. They're going to be outside of your control. And if you slip up, if you find yourself in a situation where you didn't have that emergency food plan and you do something a little off plan, be kind to yourself. One way to guarantee that you're not going to get back on plan quickly is to beat yourself up over making a mistake. But if you do the things that I talked about here, the things that I'm planning on doing for my trip, I have every intention and every indication that I will be successful on this trip, and that I will continue to be making the progress that I want to be making as I spend some time with my wife's family and with my family. Last thing I want to mention, in addition to being kind to yourself, I guess I just thought about this, is to think about opportunities that you might have on your vacation to do things that are in line with your health journey or your health plan. What made me think of that is I'm actually planning on doing some hiking over the next week. And you guys know that I've been rucking every day, which if you don't know what rucking is, I'm simply walking with weight on my back. I walk with 30 pounds in a backpack. But I'm going to be doing some hiking here in the next week. And that is an activity that is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing it. My wife loves hiking to a waterfall, so we're going to find a waterfall to hike to. But not only is it fun, it's a good time, it's a good way to spend time outside with my family, but it also aligns with my health goals, with my exercise goals. It's a way for me to actually get exercise on the day that we go hiking without really thinking that it's exercise. So that's something to think about too, is how can you maybe do something that's a little bit out of the ordinary for what you do, but it's still in line with your health goals. Guys, again, to reiterate, the very first thing that I said to you is going to be the very last thing I'm going to say to you. Prior planning prevents poor performance. If you plan, you can have a wonderful time, you can have a great vacation, you can have a great trip away from home, and still be on plan, and still be meeting your goals to where you're not having to spend a week after you get back trying to get yourself back on plan. Hope this was helpful for you guys. I'm looking forward to this trip. Hopefully I'll share a couple of videos with you while we're on this trip. We do have the opportunity to get together with our good friends from Keto Chow, with Lynette from Keto Chow and Chris and Miriam Bear. We're looking forward to that. Looking forward to spending some time with family. And like I said, hopefully I'll share a few videos with you, let you see what we're doing. I'll probably at the very least get my daily short video in while I get my walks in, although you won't get to see my beautiful dogs. It'll just be me. But again, hopefully this was helpful for you. If you guys feel like it, drop into the comments, what do you do to prepare for a vacation or a trip? Do you plan on staying on plan if you're going to go on one? And what are some tips and tricks that you have found helpful for you as you've been on your health journey and wanting to stay on your health journey as you go on a trip or vacation? Day by day, keep calm and keto on, my friends. We'll talk to you again soon.